After gambling to max coins for this Pokemon Gambler Only challenge, I was able to buy all 3 Pokemon here. And Swords Dance. So I start Swords Dancing up my Sandshrew against Whitney, then I use Headbutt to one-shot a Cliff Fairy, then I get attracted. So yeah, then I get back to 1 health, so that was useless. So now Kadabra, go for Psy, I go for some Confusions, and I take it down in 2 shots, lucky to a crit. Time fight rival, mount, and what's called our Critique Tower. I Dragon Rage, then his gas to get out stuff out Curse. Next up is his Zubat, send out Sandshrew, start headbutting it. And look, I get confused with luck, but I don't hit myself. Next up is his Bayleaf. I use Flamethrower, because I also bought all 3 of those TN since I'm actually pretty good at Voltorb Flip, aka I can manipulate it. Alright, last up is his Magnemite. I send out Sandshrew, and I use a Dig, and I take it out. Also learning Crystal on the Blush. Next up is Morty. I Psybeam his Ghastly, then I Psybeam his Haunter. Next up is Gengar. I Psybeam it. I don't know how I outsped it. Then last up is his Haunter, and I Psybeam it again. Next up is Ucine. I use Dig on it as it goes for Confusion, and then 1 Strength takes it out. Next up is his Haunter. I use Psybeam. Last up is his Electrode. I go for Dig as it goes for Sonic Boom, and I one-shot it. Next up is Chuck. Psybeam one-shots his Primate. Send out Dragonair, and I start Thunderbolting his Poliwrath to do some damage. He uses Hypnosis on me. He keeps going for Surf. I wake up, use Thunderbolt, he uses Berry. He goes for something and misses. Hypnosis, I take out with Thunderbolt. Next up is Petrol, and well, Psybeam, Psybeam. Kadabra's busted. I love it. I can get him in these runs. Next up is Ariana. Psybeam one-shots her Arbok. Then next up is her Murkrow. I set up Reflect as it gets Pursuit. I use Recover because I don't want Kadabra to die, even though he's kind of done for this fight. So I use a Pursuit. I dash, switching out. I send out Sandslash. Thunder takes out the Murkrow. Dragonite's Fly takes out the last one. Next up is Price. I use Thunderbolt on his Seal. Then I use another Thunderbolt. Then switch to Kadabra for Piloswine. I use Psybeam on it to do damage. And I crit my next Psybeam and I take it out. Last up is his Dugong. He uses a Roar Beam. I go for Thunderbolt. Then I stay in, distracting Dragonair off. Then I send out Kadabra. I get taken out by a Nice Shower. Then last up is Sandshrew. I go for Dig. As he gives a Rest. Use a Sleep Talk for Roar Beam. I go for Dig again. As he uses Sleep Talk, I get a Dig. I get a critical Dig. I take it out. Lots of crits this run. Alright, next up is Jasmine. I go max Swords Dance because I know her Steelix has one of the highest defenses in the game. Go for Dig, one-shot Magnemite. Next up is Steelix. I go for Dig. And I luckily one-shot it. Then Laura last Magnemite went down to 1 Dig. Ooh. Alright, fighting Petrol. And since all of his Pokemon are poison types, you can assume what I did to him. Gotta rest those coughings. So yeah. Psychic type is still as OP in the Johto games as it was in Kanto games. So yeah. Next up is a Silver fight. He confuses me, but I luckily still get that Thunderbolt off, barely not killing it. A step out Confusion Thunderbolt takes it out. Next up is a Sneasel. A side stand, go for Flamethrower. Bring down the yellow, go for trigger for no one, but a critical Feint Attack kill me. I send out Sandslash, Feint Attack, and I go for Rollout. Next up is Meganium. I throw out Alakazam. I start using Psybeam. 2 Psybeams to take it out. Next up is his Haunter. I use Psybeam to take it out. Last up is Magnemite. I threw out Sandslash, 1 Dig, took it out. Next up is Proton. Well, like I said before, poison type, so can you assume what happened there? Next up is Ariana. Her Arbok and Vileplume went down as Dot was, and her Murkrow went down to a Thunderbolt. So yeah. Actually no, I used Dragonair for Vileplume. Well, it was, then it got put to sleep, so then I threw out Sandslash to kill it with Strength. Alright, Archer time. Well, I dig his Houndour, and then I used Psybeam on his Coughing. Then last up is his Houndoom, which, once again, I use Dig as it goes for Fire Fang. Should've went for Dark Pulse or something like that. Alright, Claire time. So I outspeed her Gyarados somehow, used Thunderbolt, bring it to red, but she switches Dragon Pulse. She heals, another Thunderbolt brings it down to red again, another Thunderbolt takes it out. Next up is her Dragonair. I use Psychic to one-shot it. Next up is her King Dress. I to stay in. I use Psychic to bring down a yellow, use a Smoke Screen. I use another Psychic to take it out. Last up to the last Dragonair. I miss Psychic, she goes for Thunder Wave. I use Psychic, and I hit it and kill her. Alright, final Marble fight time. Flamethrower one-shots the Sneasel. It's not going for Nest moves. Next up is Golbat. I use Psychic to kill it. And then next up is his Haunter. Another Psychic kills that. Next up is his Meganium. I throw out Dragonair. Flamethrower brings it down to half. He uses Poison Power, then Petal Dance. 2 Flamethrowers, take it out. Next up, last up is his Magneton. I use Flamethrower. And then he sends out his Kadabra. Then I use Shadow Ball to take it out. Elite 4 time. First up as well, I use Thunderbolt on Xatu as he goes from me first. Another Thunderbolt brings it to red. He heals, and another Thunderbolt takes it out. Next up is his Jinx. I send out Alakazam, Shadow Ball brings into red as he uses Ice Punch. Now Shadow Ball takes it out. Next up is Zatsu. No, his other Zatsu, Shadow Ball one-shots it. Next is Executor, I throw out Dragonair. I go for Flamethrower, taking it out in one shot. Last up is his Slowbro. I accidentally went for Ice Beam, I'm trying to go for Thunderbolt. This is up by Amnesia. Then starts cursing. The Thunderbolt brings into red. He heals. Then I use Thunderbolt, paralyze it. Then he takes me out with a Psychic. I send out Sandshoot, Earthquake takes it out. Next up is Koga. I use Psychic on Azariados, taking it out in one shot. Next up is Fortress. I use Flamethrower with Dragonair to take it out in one shot. Next up is his Muck. I use Earthquake. I take it out one shot. Next up is his Venomoth. I go for a rollout to do damage. 2 rolls, take it out. Last up is his Crobat. He uses Double Team. I miss my rollout. I decided to go for Strength just to do all damage. I crit, swap out to Alakazam. Then one Psychic takes it out. That's Koga. Next up is Bruno. Psychic, his Hitmontop. Next up is his Onix. I sent out Sand Slash. I use Earthquake, bring it down to red as he goes for Earthquake as well. He heals. I go for another Earthquake, taking it out. Next up is his Hitmonchan. Psychic takes it out one shot. Hitmonlee goes out, taking it out one shot, and his Machamp is taken out one shot. Alright, next up is Karen. I use Swords Dance as it goes for Payback. I use another Swords Dance as it goes for Fuse Ray. I go for Earthquake, taking out Umbreon in one shot. Next up is his Revival. I go for Earthquake, taking out one shot. Next up is her Gengar. Psychic one-shots it. Next up is her Murkrow. I use Strength. 2 Strengths to take it out. And last up is our Houndoom. I throw out Dragonair to go for Dragon Pulse, bringing it down to about 60%. Takes another Dark Pulse. Flamethrower takes out my Sand Slash. And Alakazam can't really do anything to it. I decided to grind up back 3 levels later. Swords Dance. Then I go for Earthquake, taking it out. Next up is our Vileplume. Another Earthquake takes it out, like before. Now, here, Gengar goes down to Psychic like always. Her Murkrow goes down to 2 strengths again. Alright. Now in her Houndoom, I use Earthquake, bring it down, and hit one shot it. Alright, time for Lance. I lead Dragonite. Thunderbolt one shots his Gyarados. Next up is his Dragonite. I go for Ice Beam as he goes for Dragon Rush. Bring me to 12 health, but Ice Beam takes him out. Next up is his other Dragonite. He uses Blizzard, takes my Dragonite out. I send out Sand Slash. I go for Swords Dance. I go for Rollout. 2 rollouts, take it out. Next up is the other Dragonite. Roll out one shot, 6 it's faster than it. Charizard uses Air Slash and flinch, roll out, kills it. Last up is Aerodactyl and uses Aerial Ace and roll out, takes it out. That was Lance. Alright, I got my final 3 team members. Mr. Mime, an Eevee, and a Porygon. Alright, I'm gonna show the Kanto Gym leaders so I can show you. First up is Erica. I Psychic, Victory Bell, ran to red. No Psychic right back to red. And then Psychic took it out. Next up is a Jumpluff. I swap out to Kadabra. Alakazam to use Psychic, it steps on it and uses Giga Drain, 2 seconds, take it out. Although you Blossom. I remember for the grass type only run. I use Single Beam to bring her Blossom to half health as it goes for Solar Beam. It barely lives with another Single Beam, eats spare and takes me out the Giga Drain. Then Alakazam to do it, finish off the Psychic. Next up is our Tangela. Psychic brought it to res, that puts Mr. Mime to sleep. I didn't feel like fucking with sleep, so I sent out the Sandshrew to start strengthening it as it goes for Giga Drain, killing me. I don't know why I sent out Sandshrew instead of my misclick. So that's how Dragonite finished off with the Dragon Pulse. Alright, next up is Janine, and I started to smash out. Nope, it is off the Confusion all day in time, killed itself. Then I sent out Porygon, Psychic took out Crobat in one shot. Next up is Ariados, Psychic did the same thing. Another Ariados, I don't know why she has 2, Psychic did another thing. Then Weezing went down to 1 Psychic. This is from Porygon 2's not even Psychic type in these fucking Wrecking House. Dope. Alright, time for Surge. I use, even though normally you'd fight him first, but I want to get my other team member. So Earthquake takes out his Raichu. His Electrode, even going on for Double Team. It's Magneton, 4 times a week. I can't wait, took it out. Next up is Electabuzz. Earthquake took it out one shot. Another Electrode, another Earthquake, took it out. Then that was them. Next up is Sabrina. I use Calm Mind as Espeon. He uses Calm Mind. He's another Calm Mind as it goes for Shadow Ball. I go for Shadow Ball, taking out the Espeon in one shot. Her Kadabra uses Reflect. Shadow Ball takes it out one shot. Last up is his Mercy Mime. Shadow Ball takes it out one shot. Misty time. I read out with Porygon 2, Thunderbolt, paralyzing her Golduck, which uses Full Restore. Another Thunderbolt brings the red, and Thunderbolt takes it out. Kind of weird, it's kind of wrong here with the Golduck. Next up is her Lapras, Misty's Lapras, Thunderbolt paralyzed to yellow, Ice Beam froze me, my luck. Then I use Psychic twice to take it out. Next up is her, I have to debate what to do. Next up is her Starmie, I throw out Alakazam, Shadow Ball right to red, it's very Ice Beam, it freezes me this time, then Shadow Ball takes it out. Last up is her Quagsire, I send out Dragonite and just go for a Dragon Pulse, taking it out. And 2 Dragon Pulses. Or not. Yeah. I don't remember stalling this much. I just did that an hour ago. Alright, Surf one-shotted Rock Scrabbler. He sent us Kabuto, so I flinched. Another Rock Slide, flinched again. Surf Rod to red. I decided to throw out Mr. Mime. I go for Psychic, ran into yellow. Gives her another 2 seconds to take it out. Next up is his Onyx. Surf takes it out one shot. Next up is Rhyhorn. Surf takes it out one shot. Last up is his Rhyhorn. I send out sorry. I send out Sandslash, use Earthquake, but I didn't take it out. It just made with Rhyme. Thunderbolt takes out his Omastar. Alright, time to fight Blaine. Surf. And last up is his Rapidash. I throw out Sandslash because Vaporeon got confused. Earthquake took out Rapidash. I have to use Bounce. Alright, time to fight Blue. I use Signal Beam on Executor, taking out one shot. Next up is his Machamp. I throw out Mr. Mime. I go for Psychic. Ran it to yellow, but it uses Stone Edge to take me out. I throw out Alakazam. Another second to finish it off. Right on's up. I throw out Sandslash. Go for Earthquake, as it goes for Earthquake as well. Another Earthquake takes it out. Alright, next up is his Gyarados. I use Thunderbolt on Porygon 2 and take it out. Next up is Darkrai. He goes for Flare Blitz as I go for Surf, taking it out one shot. And here's his last in his Ace Pidgeot. I go for Ice Beam, bring it to yellow, he eats his berry, he goes for Return, Ice Beam, brings it to red. He heals up at the full store. I go for another Ice Beam, and then decided just to sack. Then off, then Cyber with the Oxy picks out. Alright, time to fight Red. He uses Iron Tail and Sandslash. I go for Earthquake, one shot in his Pikachu. Next up is his Lapras. I use Thunderbolt, bringing it down to about half, goes for Blizzard. Another Thunderbolt takes it out. First time I fought Red, he froze me here, that was fun. Next is Blastoise. He luckily missed Focus Blast, brought it down to 25%. Then he missed Focus Blast again, no Thunderbolt took it out. Next up is his Snorlax. So I used... It froze me with Blizzard this time, fucking punk. Asshole. Whatever. Next up is it... Alright, send out Mr. Mime, go for Reflect, he goes for Crunch. I set up Light Screen, go for Substitute, but it was in vain, just because he's getting Impact taking me out of it. The next up is his... That I use Psychic, keep dropping at special attack. It's in the red, he heals up. And then I throw out fucking alright, let's see. So yeah. Fucking Vaporeon gets flinched to death via Charizard, that's fun. Then I throw out Sandslash to finish off Charizard. And last up is Venusaur, Psychic didn't